Yo, what's up? Z Chatter here, back with week 2 PRs for TDT season 3. My week 1 PRs video received some feedback, that's for sure. A lot of people complained that I didn't watch every replay, and I think I mentioned this a couple times in the Discord chat, but since I had an opportunity to record earlier than I thought I would, I just sort of took it, even though I hadn't watched all the videos yet. I was planning on watching all the videos, but I wasn't able to, so I didn't. But this week I had to wait a couple days for a specific match to finish because a specific tropical fruit was being a complete genre. But that match did finish, and due to the extra time I had, I did watch all the replays for this week. So, woo, I guess. I also received some feedback on how my PRs shaped out, but I think a lot of what I said would happen this week happened this week. So, I don't know, suck my dick. Anyway, let's move on into the week 2 matches, and then I'll get to my PRs a bit later. The first match we have here was Alakazam IQ versus Team NJ. I said that NJ would steamroll here, and as you can see, they did. Skyhorse beat Robert Panda 2-0. Proud of Robert Panda for bringing him down to his last 2 mons. Good job, Robert. Doing great work. He had Halu versus Owen, and Owen won. I'm being a little suspicious at this point of the fact that Owen isn't trying. He definitely seems like he's trying, but who knows. Then you had Pikachu Zappy Zap versus Brettabus. Brett was able to win that game 4-0. I don't really remember that game very much. It wasn't super exciting. I don't know. You had Igloo Boy versus Ultra Player. You had Igloo Boy bringing Protean Greninja and still losing. But yeah. Again, not a lot of the matches weren't as memorable as last week. Last week we had a lot of very cool sets that I remembered a lot, but this week not quite as much as that. Then you had Star Wolf beating Regitube. I was pretty impressed by Star Wolf in this game. Did Alakazam IQ start him week 1? I don't think they did. No, they didn't. So yeah, he definitely impressed me this game. Hopefully we'll see more out of him in later weeks, see what he can do. He faces against Gamin next week of Blazing Inferno Apes. That'll be a good game to see how well he does in. You had Zern versus Takio. I watched this game. Zern definitely had the matchup, but I think Takio played well, but I just wasn't able to really overcome the matchup that Zern had there. And then in LC, you had T-Row Price once again playing a great game. I think Robin actually forfeit not very long into the game. Yeah, that was a very exciting game there. Definitely have been impressed with T-Row Price. He did really well week 1 too. See, he 4-0'd Agronauts, and Agronauts is a very good player. So again, hoping to see more out of him. And you had that game, which, like I said, I thought that Team NJ would steamroll, and they did. Alakazam IQ has not impressed me so far. They face the Blazing Inferno Apes next week, so we'll see how they do. But I'm not feeling very confident in this team. But moving on into one of the weirder matches here, you have Arceus Wish versus Big P Nidokings. So about halfway through the week, you had one thing happened. Well, a couple things happened. So apparently, a player on the Big P Nidokings and a player on Arceus Wish, those being Will and Starvin Pig, like shared information or something, and they both got Tor banned, which yikes. But what happened because of that is that there's no way that Arceus Wish wins this matchup if that doesn't happen. So, you know, Arceus Wish wins the trade, I guess. Anyway, let's go through the matches. There's a couple things here. G-Blaze versus King of Crimea. King of Crimea, very good player. Kind of steamrolled G-Blaze. Yeah, Diago Nunes versus Radatamen. I don't really know Radatamen very well going into this tournament, but he's definitely impressed me thus far. He did really well week 1, 2, yeah, for a Takio week 1. And yeah, just hoping to see more out of him, see how well he does. You had BDNZ versus Cavs, so this is the main reason why I think that Arceus Wish doesn't win if Starvin doesn't get banned, because they subbed in BDNZ for Starvin, and BDNZ is like a significantly better player than Starvin Pig. I don't know why they started Starvin in the first place. Yeah, it's kind of surprising that he beat Cavs still, because Cavs is quite good. But BDNZ, I've heard of him before, but I didn't really know him before this tournament. Same thing for, you know, a couple players. But again, doing quite well so far. So that's pretty cool. Then you had Zephyr versus Granbell, my bad. And Zephyr won. Not very surprising, obviously. Love Zephyr, he's a great guy. And a great Pokemon player too, so able to win that game. I know Zephyr and Granbell are friends, so yeah. Then you had Hundir versus Chibi. Hundir versus Chibi was a great game. Very close. A lot of really nice plays were made there. Hundir really impressed me. He did well week 1 too. I know I've said that a lot of times so far. But yeah, you see 5-0 over Endless Gadget. Oh yeah, he used Kathito week 1. Yeah, that game was funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching this game. And Hundir ends up winning 1-0. Yeah, again, hoping to see more out of Hundir, see how well he will do. And you have Juicy versus Blagpag. I know I've been in a few leagues with Blagpag before. I don't know him super well, and kind of same thing goes for Juicy, kind of. So I didn't have too many expectations going into this. Of course, this was the one where Will was supposed to play, and the certain tropical fruit was also supposed to play here, but then he, you know, decided not to, and Juicy had to sub in, but it worked out for Arceus Wish, so they got that last win, which they needed to cinch the series. Then you had Haru versus Muse the Best. I don't know Muse the Best very well, and same thing goes for Haru, but I know that people have said that Haru is a very good LC player, so I'm not super surprised by that. So yeah, Arceus Wish wins again. You guys moved up like one spot. Good for you, I guess. I feel bad about not moving Arceus Wish high up because it's 2-0, but also just they had the easiest opponent week 1, and then week 2 there was like players got banned, and then just I don't know. But you guys face, I believe they face Team NJ next week. So if they're able to win that, then certainly they will be up there, probably top 3, because Team NJ is a very good team. But yeah, Big P Nido Kings, a couple of their players impressed me this week, but just weren't able to really do it. I know they went up 3-0 at the beginning, but lost the remaining 4, so quite a big comeback there. Yeah. And then next match you had Shady Business versus Apocalyptic Pawns. This was a close match, which I did not expect it to be very close. I definitely thought that Shady Business would win this pretty handily, but a couple players on Apocalyptic Pawns did quite well this week. You had Witcher beating the Beardy Dragon. I don't really know either of those players very well, so it doesn't surprise me, but also, you know, nice win on Apocalyptic Pawns' part, I guess. Then you had Cameron Blazeit versus Koala Can C. Koala Can C impressed me last week in LC, but lost here to Cam. Cam, I believe he did really well he beat Haru last week as well. So 2-0. We'll see how well he does in continuing in that LC tier. We see him versus Inversify next week, so that'll be interesting. If he can win there, then I'm sure he will be start to be taken seriously in that LC slot there. And then you had Arctic Weavile beating Kylie O. That one's not surprising. I love my guy Arctic Weavile. He's a great player for sure. And then you had a couple games here which were a little weird. You had Rat versus Mysterious Player, and this game caused Mysterious Player to rage quit and leave the server, which, you know, Apocalyptic Pawns already stated as my worst team. I think they're the worst team, and now they've lost probably one of their top 4 players, unless, you know, like some of these guys like Witter and Cameron can step up. But yeah, just it's pretty rough. However, I'll talk a little bit about why I think that Apocalyptic Pawns can, you know, maybe do pretty well. But I mean, here, like, again, just losing one of their players, and it's just doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. Then that was at the beginning of the week too, so you hate to see it. And you had Love losing to Rinnegan as well. That was a pretty close game. Those are 2 good players. I definitely expected that Love would win, but you know, pretty even, I guess. And you had Devin versus Savage. And Devin won, not surprising, although I have heard people say Savage is good, but, you know, not too surprised there. And so at this point, you are, you know, 3-3, close series, and Apocalyptic Pawns has their best player left, has Pesky Skitty, you know, LD Majors coach, and just this week just really shows my main problem with Apocalyptic Pawns, because Pesky forfeits, and does not play. And that's just, it's gotta be a worry when your best player isn't really able to play. You have to, like, if this team is going to do well, I think Pesky has to step up. And he wasn't started week 1, isn't starting in week 3, and forfeit in week 2, and that's not looking good. But at the same time, this week definitely showed a couple of things that could be good with Apocalyptic Pawns, and that is, you had Witter and Cameron Blazes playing very well. You have Arctic Weavile still sort of doing quite well in this league. And you still have Love there, which is also a good player. So I think that if some of these players can step up next week and they can start winning a few games, who knows? Maybe they can, impress me next week and move up. But right now they are going to remain at the bottom. Spoilers for the power rankings to come, I guess. So the next game, this is going to be a fun one. Oh boy. The next game is Blazing Infernates versus the Drunken Spoons. My previous ones, I said that the Blazing Infernates were the best team in the league. And nobody agreed with me, other than people on the Blazing Infernates. And look what happened. The Blazing Infernates absolutely steamrolled here. Similarly to how they played last week. And yeah. So I'm looking forward to a game, the 5th from the top. I'm looking forward to talking about that one. But let's go in order. We have first Ramaxo versus Killer Asai. Not super surprising. I think I voted for Killer Asai, but I don't really know either of these players super well. And Ramaxo was able to win, so good for him. I don't remember that game very well. I watched it, I think, as it came out. And then you have Robot Boy versus it's not Risux, I know, because I called him that last time and he made fun of me for it. It's like Rousseau, or something. I don't know. My American ass can't pronounce these extravagant names. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna call him Riss. Riss won. He played quite well. He was. I'm in the Drunken Spoons chat, by the way. He was asking for mocks before. Definitely really cared about that match, even though they had already lost at the point. But did a great job, and he will be starting next week on Drunken Spoons, I'm sure. Yeah, so we'll see if he can continue to do well. And then you had the Real Peter versus Nathan. Nathan is a good player. I do enjoy him, but he lost this week, and the Real Peter has definitely impressed me so far. I know that he was on the off-season team with PK and Ziff, but didn't really know him very well before TDT, and he has been doing quite well. You see him beating Ward Life in week 1 and beating Nathan in week 2, so once again I'm looking forward to seeing how well he does later in the tour. And then you have Gammon versus Cam the Man. Was really looking forward to this match before the week started, because obviously I love both these guys. Two great players, two great guys just in general. And you had Gammon winning over Cam the Man, which isn't super surprising. I consider them to be around equal skill level. But definitely enjoyed watching that one. It was a good one. Well, now we get to the fun one. I'm gonna enjoy this. Hacker Killer versus Pyronox. So I was there in the chat watching this game, and Hacker started off really well. He made a really nice prediction and took out the Sylveon on like turn 2 with his Kieran Black, or no, what Pokemon? Oh yeah, Kieran Black. It was. I'm telling the truth. And then he was able to maintain momentum. He picked up another kill. He was up 6-4, and he had a whole ton of momentum. And he did not maintain that. I don't know how, but he just completely choked that game. Oh my god. He ends up losing 3-0 after going up 6-4. Pyronox loses 1 Mon, taking out all 6 of his after losing his first 2. Yikes. I don't know. Hacker's bad player. Bad person. Wouldn't be friends with him. Sorry. Yeah. And then you have PK Madden versus Phil Milson. 2 good guys there. But PK able to win that one 6-0 over Phil, which is kind of surprising. I expected it to be closer between those two, but not a super surprising, just result in terms of who won the game. And then you had Taquito versus TPP Robinizer. Obviously, I love my guy TPP, but he kind of haxed in this game, and Taquito still able to win. So, excellent play on Taquito's part, but hopefully TPP can do a little better later in the season. I think he's 0-2 right now, but yeah, I've been really impressed with Taquito so far. He's the second LC player, which is currently 2-0 plus 2. You also have Cameron Blazeit, who has won 2 games, both 1-0, and the same thing goes here. Taquito beating Inversify and TPP Robinizer 1-0. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Taquito does. I've seen a lot of very impressive LC players, Cameron Blazeit, Taquito, T-Row Price, and what's the other guy?
There's more than one kind?
Oh yeah, Trace did well, but he wasn't started week 2. Whatever. So, yeah, Blazing Infernape's #1 team still. Again, spoilers for the PRs to come, I guess. But, shouldn't be super surprising. That's my opinion. And Drunken Spoods are gonna fall off a little bit, this week, but I still think that they're a pretty solid team, and, if they can do well versus Yusu and Friends next week, then they should move up a significant amount. Speaking of Yusu and Friends, the next game, and the last game we have is Yusu and Friends versus Slug by Ween. Going into this, I expected Yusu and Friends to win, although I thought it would be probably one of the closer matches this week. But that is not what happened. Slug by Ween, I think I definitely, in my previous PRs, I was a little too harsh on them for losing to, who'd they lose to? Blazing Infernapes. I was a little too harsh on them for how bad they lost to Blazing Infernapes. But this week they definitely pulled it back and were able to do very well. You had Wombo versus Bunny, and Wombo won. That one's not super surprising. Wombo, a very good player. Bunny is also good, but probably not as good as Wombo. And you have Word Life versus Ashy. You have Word Life winning that one. Same deal with the previous match. You have Austrian George versus Wolverine. Definitely expected Austrian George to win there, so no surprise there. You have Cheez-Its versus Rise of Darkrai. Pretty hacks, a little bit of hacks in that match. There's a lot of bit of hacks in the coming matches, but we'll talk about that in a minute. but a Rise Striker wins, so whatever. P2 Pros versus Tristan. P2 wins. Same deal as previous ones. I'm not surprised by that. P2 is a great player. And then you have Sergeant Bulk Up versus Evan. This is the first match, which was hacks. Evan got haxed. He probably deserved to win, but was unable to. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Sergeant Bulk Up played bad, but I don't know. He definitely won by hacks, and the real hacks match was Jasper versus Inversify. Wow, this is probably the worst match I've seen in a while. The amount of hacks that there was here. It was kind of insane, honestly. How unlucky that Jasper got, but I mean, regardless of that, Inversify wins. Suck My Win wins the series. I think that Yusu and Friends definitely got haxed. So Yusu and Friends moving down a bit, but not very much. But Suck My Win will be moving up quite a bit. I think I definitely underrated them. I think I was too hard on them after losing to Blazing Infernapes. But yeah, that's about it for the recap of week 2. Let's get into how my PRs have shifted and my opinions on each team. And so here you have the PRs. I'll just get started. At number 10, I maintain the Apocalyptic Pawns at number 10. I talked a little bit about this when analyzing their match, but you know, I think that them losing MP hurts them. I think that Pesky forfeiting is a great sort of shower of why I dislike this team, but in general I was impressed by some of their players this week, so I think if they're able to step up next week, then they can do some stuff. And at 9 you have the Alakazam IQ. I continue to be unimpressed by this team. Their sort of top-heavy players aren't really doing very well, and their sort of more cheap players aren't going to be able to hold up the team. And at 8 you have the Drunken Spoons. I do like this team, but they took a pretty big hit versus Blazing Infernapes. Dropped a lot of games, and so they're going to drop a few spots. Yeah, not much else to say. At 7, I maintain the Big P Nidokings. They dropped a few spots just while losing to Arceus Wish, but obviously there was some stuff there with people getting tour banned. But I still think this team is good, but they're going to have to sort of show it in the coming weeks, and they really don't have much momentum, being currently 0-2. But who knows? And then at 6 you have Arceus Wish. I know I'm going to get people who dislike this pick, but I still maintain that I don't think this team is one of the best in the league. I know they're 2-0, and they have Team NJ next, so if they're able to do well there, then they can move up. But at this point, they're going to stick kind of in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Fuck. Moving on. Yusu and Friends at 5, dropping a few spots due to losing to Suck My Ween, but I still think it's a good team. They definitely got hacked a little bit, but they did lose to Suck My Ween, so gonna have to drop them a little bit. And Suck My Ween, speaking of, is next, and they moved up like 4 spots, which is quite good. Yeah, obviously, beating Yuso and Friends, which was previously the 3rd best team, is going to be big for them. So I moved them up quite high. So there they are. And yeah, I think I was too harsh on them. As I said, I probably should not have been as harsh as I was. At number 3, you have Shady Business, moving up 1 spot from they were 4th place before, and I think that they're just going to sort of maintain around this top 4 area. That's what I expect them to do. And so I think they're a good team. I think they will continue to do well. And I expect them to make playoffs for sure. You have Team NJ at 2 and Blazing Inference at 1. Neither of these have changed. Both these teams steamrolled this week, and I wasn't surprised at all. I think that these are the best 2 teams in the league right now. And yeah, we will see if they can maintain their success. But at this point in time, I really don't see anyone else contesting those 2 teams. And anyway, now that I'm done with that, I think I will just really quickly go over these remaining games in week 3. The doc isn't updating. I think like 1 or 2 games have already happened for week 3, but I'm just gonna go over what I think will happen. Alakazam IQ versus Blazing Infernape. It should be pretty obvious who I think is gonna win this. But if Alakazam IQ is able to surprise me, then who knows? Yusu and Friends versus Drunken Spoons. Yusu and Friends will probably win, but Drunken Spoons is a good team. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to pull one out there. You have Apocalyptic Pawns versus Suck My Ween. Apocalyptic Pawns really needs to prove themselves here. If Love can win, if Witter can win, if Weavile will win, if Cameron can win, then I think that they can start doing well, but they need a lot to happen in order for that to, happen. So we'll see. You have RC Swish versus Team NJ. I do expect Team NJ to win, but if RC Swish wins, then fine, they can be top 4 in the PRs. Woo. Shady Business versus Big Potato Kings is next. I expect that Shady Business will win, but I do like Big Potato Kings, and I hope that they're able to get some momentum back with this game. They definitely have lost a significant amount of momentum from the previous 2 games, but if they're able to get their momentum back here, then I think they could be a team to look out for. But I do expect that Shady Business will win. So yeah, that's about all I have to say. I think I will cut this video off here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.